I'm Dwight Norris of FishingNetwork.com, and I'm here to help you go fishing. Now, we're here for another episode of my product reviews. Cool fishing gear. Now, this is something that you've seen me fish with before, and I talked a little bit about it, but I really haven't gone in depth about how well it is, or how bad it is, what it's good at, and what it's not good at. And I wanted to just make a pretty short review video about it because I think it's important. And mostly because I bought four of them for a specific reason. We'll talk about that later. But what we're talking about is the Zebco Team KVD spinning combo. This is obviously KVD, which is Kevin Van Dam, one of the most winningest fishermen ever, and he likes to talk about himself even on his products. Look at here. Kevin Van Dam's career, first place, top tens, angler of the year 7 times. It's ridiculous. And it just goes on and on. And obviously it looks cool. It's like a 10-pound bass here, whatever, maybe 6, but it's big and he's awesome. Here's his website if you want to go visit it and find out more about him. But we're talking about stuff here. So as you can see here, obviously this is kept my finger in the right place, a 5.5 foot medium light glass rod, aluminum spool, and with two bearings. Now it's very important to have more than one bearing in your spinning reel. 2, in my eyes, is the minimum. Why? Because it really affects the smoothness of your reeling. And after a while, if you're not really good at, maintenance, you're going to feel it physically in the action of the reel, the way that you cast, and getting tangles and stuff in there. And it's not good. And when you open up your spinning reel, it's not really that complicated. Once you look at all the components, you can figure out what each one does and how its little minute twist here, twist there can really affect how the reel works. But the 2 bearings, let's talk about that. If you're not spinning much on a rod and reel combo like this, it's fine. I got these for just under 20 bucks each. I think it might have been cheaper. That was on sale, when those super sales. So I was like, boom, I'm gonna get 4 of them. I need a whole arsenal, just like all the pro fishermen do. I want to have a different kind of baits. I want my crankbait, I want my spinner bait, I want my jerk bait, I want my worm, I want a frog lure. I want everything I possibly can, so I don't have to mess around with tying something on, doing a slug knot, doing a polymer, not a polymer knot. Actually, yes, a polymer knot or some other knot, and trying to figure it out because on each lure it's different and it's a little hard, especially up here in the north. It gets cold like it is right now, and you don't want to have your fingers exposed messing with that crap. You want to get out in the water and you want to fish. When you're fishing at work, you are time limited, so you want to be prepared. So if you could put more than one fishing rod in your bag, please do it. Figure out what you want to do. This is part of the plan of the attack. What are you going to fish for a day? How are you going to fish for them? Where are you going to fish for them with? What kind of gear are you going to bring? Do you have extra gear? Do you not have extra gear? Maybe you need one of these. So, I have a Abu Garcia. It's one of my favorite brands. There are other great brands like Penn and, if you want to spend money, there is money to be spent in the fishing world, just like in the golf world. And you will get a noticeable benefit from that money. But if there's like not a Pareto chart, but there's a curve when you do it. The more money you spend isn't exponential, like straight up. It's going to start to trail off at the end about the actual positives you're going to get from the money you spend. Somewhere in the middle, not that little $10 reel, not a little $10 reel, but somewhere in between, not 500, but somewhere around 100 to 200. That is where your, the best for your money, the best bang for your buck is going to come from when it comes to a rod or a reel, even a combo. So I really say you should do that. But wow, for this, I've gotten my money's worth. I got 4 of them, just in case it wasn't that great. But overall, I'm pretty happy. So let's go more into the fine details. let's take a look. This one's brand new. It's not even set up. As you can see, the reel is not even like, you have to unscrew the other side. I like the white here. It looks pretty nice in it, and it actually doesn't get dirty. You can wash right off and it stays this color. It doesn't degrade over time. You unscrew this, you straighten this out, and boom, you got it ready to go. I actually have one hooked up, but I'm going to show you this one because it's cleaner. So I'm going to take a quicker look here. You see the fine measurements here for your line capacity. I'll read it to you so you know. Line capacity, yards, pounds, blah, blah, blah. 220 yards for 6 pounds, 150 yards for 8 pounds, and 140 yards for 10 pounds. Those are your 3 manufacturer suggested, specs, whatever you want to do. You can go outside of that if you want to, but you're going to see that it doesn't actually work very well. Now me, I used a 10-pound test and I put a little too much on there. I went a little thick and the line was falling off the edge like you would expect. But it was a braided line and it helped me catch a pretty big fish. But I would stay within the requirements. I live in an area where there's lots of hang-ups, there's lots of sharp things, and I run a light line and I use a good lure, like a $10 lure. I know it's going to happen to me. I'm going to get hung on something stupid. It's going to be just out of range, just beyond my sight, right when the water goes dark, right when you don't know how deep it is, and you want to go in there, but you don't. It might be cold, it might be warm, but you don't want to do it, and you're like, is it worth $10 to go in there to make sure my line doesn't break when I pull it to release my lure? So if I snap it, I'll never find it. But if I keep it on there and I, go dredging through the water, I'll get my stuff back and then I'll rethink what I'm using. So that's something you have to contemplate when you're using lightweight fishing gear like this. Now, if you have a son or daughter that's upgrading from those little spin cast things, they want to get their first real fishing rod, this is great. It's not too long. It's not a 6.5 foot. You're not pulling or flipping something out of the weeds and you need some strength and some leverage. This will catch pretty much everything you want for a child that size. You get a bass, you got your bluegills, you got maybe some catfish, and that rod's going to bend, but it's not going to break, which is going to make it a lot of fun. That's why a lot of people like to fish with lightweight spinning gear, and this is one of those. Now, for 2 bearings, I keep coming back to that. I thought that it would crap out after a period of time. It's been, 9 months, me fishing a lot, fishing at work, and it's still holding up. I bought a used Abu Garcia on eBay to replace another one I had. I was like, I don't want to spend that much money right now on a brand new one, so I'm just going to use one, see how it goes. 6 ball bearings. After a while, still smooth, yet the spinning gear sometimes goes backward and forward even though it's locked in place. And it's really annoying when you reel a fish, you stop, you let the rod handle go and it goes backward, and then you got line all over the place. The fish got slack line, it jumps off, throws the lure. Not cool. So I'm at the point now where I'm going to have to let that little Abu Garcia go. There we go. Make sure it locks. Make sure it doesn't lock. So, as you can see, it's hard to see here. As you see with the rods, it's not like usually they have a really thick plastic layer on the inside. This doesn't. It's actually pure metal. And right before I set up this whole gimmick here, I stepped on the tip of my one I was using, and it really dug into me. And I was like, I probably bent it. I probably bent it up good. Why did I do that? And I look back and it was perfectly fine. Usually when I step over the very far tip one, right here, it bends so easy, especially on the Shakespeare ones. Those are weak. But this one's strong, man. Strong. So a +1 for the tip. It took 240 pounds right to the tip and did not bend. So that's a plus. So let's look at one that's actually ready to go here. This is my current one. This is the tip I stepped on. Obviously, it hasn't changed. It's still awesome. And this is a two-piece, as you saw before. And I'll unhook myself. Yes. Right here, just like many other rods, it has the little hook holder for when you're walking with your actual stuff in a crowd, or if you're storing it away in your boat. You want it to be streamlined. You want it not to get hung up with everything, and your lures and your weights start wrapping around each other. It's a pain in the butt. So this is very good. I have some rods that don't have it, and I don't like those rods anymore. I really like this simple device right inside that lets me hook my lures, especially my treble hooks here, because I was jigging, trying to get some deep jigging here in the Northeast, catch those bass that are in those little, what you call potholes, but they're at 30 feet deep. So that's that. Sorry, I have to maneuver this thing. When it's in your house, it's long. When it's outside, it's not so long. So, he even signed the side of this thing. I didn't realize there was a signature there. This is the rod after about 9 months. As you can see, it's been dropped in mud, dropped in the dirt. Ooh, I dropped it in the water too, and it's held up. It's still good. It's still clean. It's still tight. Still reels. Well, I'm not going to show you now because that's going to come off, and I don't want to hook myself on my video. So yeah, that's how this goes. Now on to other things. Well, there is the Quantum or Zebco Team KVD's baitcast combo, which is just the baitcast version of it. Now I haven't seen it or used it, but it has similar specs, except it's a baitcast wheel. With a baitcast rod, the differences, the subtle differences between the two. I really hope that it has a more like a stiffer rod, because we all know with baitcast rods, they're traditionally for flipping or doing like spinner baits and crankbaits, which when you hit something, you're going to hit it at full speed. The actual lure is going to be moving. So all you have to do is lean back. But with a spinning rod, you're usually using things that are lighter, and you need to be really sensitive, and you have to put your finger on the line and really get those real small bites. So that's more important. So I don't really know. I haven't looked at it. I should have pulled it up on the screen here so we could do that. But I want to talk about things that I've actually tested out myself, because I'm just talking about stuff I haven't even done. That's just dumb. You want a real review. And that's what this is. The reel, I like the reel. The reel is pretty good. It's not as great as my Abu Garcia when it's brand new and not used, but it could be better. It could be a 6 bearing or something over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hopefully they're doing more now. I should really research that and see if I can get more ball bearings, because man, when you have a smooth reel, it lets out a smooth cast, and you take care of it, which you should when it's that good. Give it its oil, dust it off, make sure the components are getting stripped, or there's dirt and grit and leaves and stuff or mud getting in there. Clean it out. Oh, when it's so smooth, it's like you have a brand new, brand new fishing gear every year. So please, if you buy good stuff, take good care of it, and it will take good care of you. Flawless fishing for however long that you can actually do that. Now for the rod, the rod's the rod. It's really flexible. I will say that. Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back. It's really flexible. I'm barely pulling this. I'm about to get hooked because the thing's about to come off the holder there. Well, look. One finger. One finger. So if a bluegill actually bites this, you'll know. It will bend the rod over. A bass 2-pounder, it feels like it's 10. Now I tried a striper lure on there not so long ago, and I was like, wait a minute. If a striper of any decent size, let's say it's a baby one, like 5 to 10 gets on there and it uses all its power, I might break my rod. I might break the rod, but that's not what it's made for. So please don't do that. But hey, if you want to get one of those world records or something, I'm not sure what the requirements are based on the rod and reel and your age and the type of fish. Please, be my guest, put some 4-pound tests in there and go to town. And please tell me about it if that happens. I would love to know. Another thing I sell is a Team KVD backpack. Now, I talk about backpacks a lot because that's my main mode of transportation for my rods and my reels and my lures and all my other stuff that I take when I'm fishing at work. So I use as a plain JanSport one. It works fine. It's gotten worn down, it has holes in it. It's not perfectly made for holding my stuff. If I had one that was more specific to fishing, I could carry more lures, it could be more efficient. I could have my lunch in there, it could be insulated. I could have special kind of stuff for breaking it down and making sure that I stay more discreet, which I don't really care about. People know already. But for other people, they aren't willing to do that. They're too scared to do that. They might not be doing it for a good reason. So I want to help them out. And I'm looking down because I'm thinking about what that backpack looked like. But for the most part, one, it's a little bigger. Two, it has places for your little storage boxes, the Plano style one. You know, they have aftermarket ones. You can get them anywhere now. I would get the seal ones that don't stink because you have like stinky lures or this smells like a fish still and you want it to be sealed and you don't want people to be wondering if you swam in fish juice last night and then take a shower. Not fun. You also want a place for your lunch because you're going to be taking it with you. You want to keep it warm or you want to keep it cold. You get one of those, the silver insulated packs inside of it, mostly on the top. And then I really want to create one that can hold a bigger rod in it, even when it's broken down to 2 or 3 pieces. Because one, you have the problem of you have a 6-foot rod and it's like 3.5 feet. Like a 6 or a 7-foot rod gets broken in 2 usually, and it's 3.5 feet, and there is no backpack that long. So sometimes you'll see people make ones that has a little attachment with a little spindle, cylindrical shaped thing on the side. That's okay, but then it means I have to take off my reel, which I don't want to do. It's more pain in the butt. You could add a little adjustment to that, but everybody's reel and rod isn't the same. Some people have the long butts, some people have the short butts. That's funny. Not, but it should be more customizable than that. And I want to make one that's all in one, seamless. So you stick the reel in the fishing rod, and then it pokes out a little thing on the side. People wondering if you're in the army, you have one of those CB radios, which is the exact same thing, and it has the big antenna thingy tube sticking out the back there. And if they ask, hey, it's your army pack, or actually, you might want to go to one of those army stores and see if they have something like that. You might get really close, but I'm trying to work on something to fix that as well. So this recording has gone almost 20 minutes, and I want to keep these short. I don't want to go too overboard unless it's warranted. I want to go into depth, but this is the rod and reel combo. It's Team KVD. You know the man. He's not a myth. He is a legend, and if he makes a suggestion, you should probably follow it. So, White Noise Fish Network, please go to the website, fishnetwork.com. If you want to figure out how to go fishing more often, you can get my everyday fishing system now. It's in the beta form, and I will put it on a better format. Until then, later.